Good morning everybody, welcome another game here to Jukegames review section. Today we're going to play a very popular survival horror that has been becoming even more popular in the last years. It was released in 2010 and it was developed by Frictional Games. It is an indie game. You may have heard about Penumbra Saga, which is the first survival horror series from Frictional Games, but today we're going to talk about Amnesia and the first game of the saga, because the Amnesia series has got at the moment the first game, which is called The Dark Descent, an expansion called Justine, and the second game, which is called Amnesia Machine for Pigs. As I said, today I'm going to show you the first game. If you like to suffer, you like terrific games and getting into them, or horror movies or novels, you're going to like this kind of games for sure. I think that you may know this game, but I wanted to talk about it because it deserves it. In this game you are called Daniel and you don't know very much about your past. You are trapped in a castle, in the Renenburg castle. You know your name and that's all you know. That's why the game is called Amnesia. And well, in this game basically you need to solve puzzles. It is a pure survival horror. You need to survive, you need to hide from monsters, you need to defend, but you can't. You won't have any weapons, you won't even have the chance to attack anything. You need to hide if you find a monster, or more like if a monster finds you, you're going to run away from them, and that's, in my opinion, one of the worst things about this game. If you already played it, I think that you're going to agree with me when I say that the worst begins when you get into the water part. You need to run away from a monster that is invisible and is just hidden on the water, and you need to run from it by throwing arms and legs, human arms and legs, so it eats them and it gets distracted, and then you can jump from wooden boxes to other wooden boxes, and then you can get out of it, and then you get into another place similar to that where you also need to run away from this thing. In my opinion, it becomes just unbearable. I'm very sensitive when playing these games, and I really suffer when doing it. I just can't play them, but when being completely alone, I need someone to help me or just stay by my side, not by scaring me, obviously. And well, about the game and about the character, you're going to need to know when it's got his health full, like right now, all is good. His sanity, which is the thing that you're going to need to worry about the most, because when something shakes, or when a door opens, or when a monster appears, obviously your sanity will go down, and you're going to need to recover it by looking at the light, preferably natural light, which is very hard to find in this castle, by the way. You're going to need to know how to use your tinderboxes by lighting torches. You're going to need to use your oil and know how to use it and when to use it, because when you run out of oil, you can't use the lantern, and if there aren't any torches around, you're going to stay in darkness. You'll lose sanity, and you can block out. Here's the journal that is going to show you the whole history. Now we haven't any notice or any direct notes, but you know what you have to do. You need to follow the liquid trail and find the source. And it is going to allow you to know the history. Okay, our sanity is still nice. Okay, the cupboards are going to be a very important thing in this game because, as I said, it is survival and you're going to need to solve puzzles. To advance in the game, you're going to need to find lots of these to survive, because as I said, if you run out of light, you're going to black out. And you're going to need to learn how to hide into these things, because when a monster comes for you, if he doesn't see you, okay, we're in the most trolling cupboard ever. If he doesn't see you, he's going to go sooner or later. But you're going to need to keep the cupboard closed. Monsters, if they've seen you for enough time, are going to try to destroy the cupboard door and get you. So you better run when you find a monster, and you'll be able to advance in the game. So here is it. When you look at the dark for a long time, you'll get to see what is in there, but you're going to see that your sanity will start to get down. It says it is crystal clear, but you just start hallucinating when you look at the dark for a long time. And as I said, you can black out if you do it for a long time, very long time. Or if you stare at a monster for a long time. So this is basically it. There aren't very strong jump scares in this part of the game. This is the worst part here in the beginning. But later in the game you're going to need to run away from monsters. And there it comes to the very worst part. As I said, when playing these parts I need someone to help me, because I really suffer when doing it, but I want to finish the game, so I need to play it, but I really suffer when doing it. The most interesting and worst part about this game, is that as a survival horror it is, you're going to need to look in every corner of the castle, every cupboard, everything, every table, to find the keys that you're going to need to use for advancing in the game, or papers to get to know the history. So when investigating, you can find chairs, you'll find lots of chairs. You can find what you're looking for to solve the puzzle that will allow you to advance in the game, and you can find enemies, and that's where the worst part comes. So this was everything. I hope you liked the review, and if you didn't play this game yet and you like horror games, I really encourage you to play this game. You may suffer by playing it, but it is a very interesting game. It's a very nice game. It's got a nice history and very nice playability. So, as I said, I encourage you to play it and see you here on Jukegames review section and jukegames.com. Bye bye!